Hey guys, General Tabby here, and tonight I'm going to be covering a topic which is a little off track from my usual. So please do bear with me because I have taken a different route lately. I've been actually doing different things, and this has kind of freaked some people out, and they're kind of like, "Whoa, like what are you doing? You're talking about serious matters, and this is not your area." But people, just give me a chance, and I will get to it. And basically, today I'm going to talk about something which is a serious matter. But my advice for everything is you have to laugh about things in life, because without laughter, it helps you through it. You've got to laugh, no matter what it is. Maybe there's a certain time and place for it. I'm not saying you go to a funeral and you start laughing at the family or anything like that. There is a time and a place. But today I'm actually going to try and cover something a little serious and a little seriously, and then hopefully we can have a bit of a laugh about it. So yeah, bear with me through this, because like I said, it's quite a serious and touchy matter for some people. In fact, for most people it is. For some people who it doesn't bother, they don't really know how to respond to it, because they will encounter someone in their life with what we're about to cover, and that is the big D. No, not that one. Not that one. Depression. That is the one we are covering today. And we're actually going to talk about how to fight it. How to fight depression. That's right. I'm going to put you in the ring. You are going to kick the crap out of your depression, for you who are actually suffering with it. So, just before we begin, because I don't want to be treading on any toes, I don't want to be upsetting anyone, no matter what I say, bear with me till the end, because no matter what I say, I do support the fact that it is an illness. I am not saying I do not see it as an illness whatsoever. The points I am trying to make do actually back it up, so please be patient with me and I'll get to it. So, first things first, I'm going to actually try and give an example of what I would compare depression to, and this may help people who are suffering. It may also help people who aren't suffering, but you know someone that is, and you might not be quite sure how to deal with it. So this is going to try and help both sides of the coin, because that is an ongoing struggle, and it has been for a long time. Lately there's been a lot of work put into awareness for mental illness, and also trying to bring it out of men more, because most men are stubborn. And I'm not okay, I'm stereotyping, but who cares? We're men. We are stubborn creatures, and it takes a lot to sometimes get it out of some men. Some men struggle with opening up about this kind of stuff. I struggle opening up about a lot of things, so I know exactly what it's like, but some women do too. So sometimes it is worth just keeping an eye out, or an ear out, because some people say things and it's a little cry for help, and it's about as much as they can handle. So we're going to cover this today. So, my theory here is, and it's not just a theory, it is actually backed up by some scientific even backup, so it has some logic to it, and that is that you have to treat depression like an actual illness. And when I say that, I don't mean as in depression isn't an illness, but I mean a physical ailment, a physical illness, because it is a mental illness. And you get a lot of people going, "Oh, but it's just in your head." Well, yeah, it is in your head. That does not mean it's fake, but it's not real. In fact, the brain is the most powerful part of the human body, so it kind of affects you in a bigger way if you think about it. It's quite a struggle. So you have to treat it as if it's an illness, like a virus. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, because a virus, the way the body fights back is by making you have a fever. Now, the fever is what the body's trying to do to burn out whatever illness you actually have. So fever is not a direct symptom of a virus. It's not a virus trying to actually... It doesn't just turn on the central heating and run away. It's actually your body's response to it. So let's just think for a minute that the fever is in response to it, okay? And the fever is actually one of the most dangerous parts of having a virus. Because obviously a virus messes you up in a lot of ways. But the fever is dangerous. I've had a fever. In fact, I had one quite recently, and that's what kind of brought this to mind. Sorry about that. But the point I'm trying to make is the virus is what's it's invaded your body. It's infecting you, and your body fights back. But you get like a cloud. You get some form of clouded vision when you have a fever. You start becoming delirious, and it can actually make you worse, because once you get to a stage where you can no longer kind of control yourself, you might feel dizzy, or just like you can't move, you might not even know where you are. You become dehydrated, and if you can't physically go get water, you will get more and more dehydrated, and this makes you a lot worse. Recently, I got a fever so bad that I thought I had butlers and waiters and all that kind of stuff, and I was sat in bed just wondering why on earth they weren't helping me. And it was all later on that, like, a family member had to tell me that, I was really tripping out. I was having a very high fever, and I'd wrapped myself up and I dived in bed because I thought I was freezing, and I weren't. I was shivering because of the illness, but I wasn't actually cold. I was burning up. So I made myself 10 times worse. But the point I'm trying to make is, depression does the same thing. You see, it's kind of like a fever. As in, it gives you some kind of clouded vision. So the way I combated this virus was I knew that my body, in response to it, had given me a fever. And I knew that I was suffering from a fever. So I had to just focus, and I knew the only way to combat it was to do something which would help. And I had to force myself, and this was early hours of the morning, I had to force myself, no matter how much pain I was in, no matter how delirious I was, I had to get some tablets and force them down myself. And then I had to force them down with orange juice and anything I could find with vitamins. And I knew that this would sink into my system. It would start taking down the fever. It would help with the pain, so I would be able to move more to get more food. And I would also be able to get the nutrition from the orange. So I knew in my mind what I had to do, but it was difficult, because you're tripping out. So, if you think of it this way and think that depression, it is there to harm you. It is an illness. It's not your friend. It is going to make you think and feel how you shouldn't, and how you're not normally going to feel. It gives you some kind of different sight, and you have to fight it. And I mean really go for it, because it is hard. It is not an easy trip, and sometimes you do need support. I admit that. I've seen people who have needed support because they just can't quite get started, but this is the hard bit, and this is the bit where it will either kind of help you or it won't. But this is the truth, and this is very important. The only person that can get you out of that hole is yourself. You have to get out of that hole by yourself. Don't get me wrong, it's a hard trip. Someone might be at the top shouting down to you and putting their hand down as far as they can reach, and they will really want to help you. They will encourage you, and they will grab your hand as soon as they can, but they cannot get you out of that hole. They're not Stretch Armstrong. They cannot reach to the bottom of this pit. They will wait for you at the top, and they will let you know they're there the whole way up, but they just can't reach you yet. So you have to start. You have to climb up and keep climbing, and once you get near the top, they will grab you and help you out of that hole. And they will try and stop you falling back in it. But you have to be in control of it. You have to do it. You have to treat it like a virus. You have to think, this thing is trying to defeat me constantly. This thing is trying to even kill me. And you're not going to let that happen, because you have to combat your thoughts. And I know everyone's going to say, you can't do that. It's not that easy. I know it's not that easy. And I only know it's not that easy because I have been there. And I have had to climb out of that hole by myself. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into great detail. But fairly recently, I myself was told I had some problems, and they were addressed by certain tablets, which, again, I'm not going to go into which ones they are or anything, but the tablets actually made me worse, because they said there was a chance they would make me depressed, on top of how I already was. So this was already not a good thing to hear, but I give them a try. It actually made me worse, because through the whole time of taking these tablets, it added another problem. And this problem was depression. And it hit me like a train. You know, and I know they're not magic tablets, I know they don't just create it, but because you can feel this, you know, it is chemicals they're adjusting after all, so you will feel it. And I did. And it wasn't pleasant. So I had everything else going on, and then I had this depression, and I just didn't want to get out of bed any day of the week. And a lot of bad stuff started happening. And one day, I decided just to stop taking them. And yes, I did get told off for this, because it's a bad move. You shouldn't do it. You should ease off them. The way I did it made me really ill for quite a while. It lasted longer than I thought it would. And I didn't take people's advice, people who cared about me. And I should have, because it would have made it easier. I could have eased off them, but I literally just stopped taking them cold turkey. And now I feel I'm in such a better frame of mind. And I know it's not as simple, because I know not all sufferers of depression are actually on tablets. I know that some sufferers, they're not on anything. They don't have support. And it does suck, because you deserve support. You know, if that's what you want, you deserve it. And sometimes it is what you need. Even though you've got to get out of the problem yourself, sometimes it is good just to have someone there. And in fact, a good friend of mine was one of the people that just... They didn't even try and persuade me to stop taking the tablets. It was just the fact that they was there. And I no longer wanted to rely on tablets. So I stopped taking them. And now I feel a lot better. And it's possible, even if you're not on tablets, there are things you can do to combat it. Just like and I know this is completely different, and this is actually easier than fighting depression, but finding some orange juice when you are tripping and you can't even stand up. It's a challenge, and you have to do it. So, for you who aren't on medication, or you who do want to keep trying the medication, you just want to find something else to maybe ease off onto, that is fine. You have to find things that bring you enjoyment, things that bring you motivation. You have to find things in life which will start to get rid of this clouded vision you've got, which is not your fault. But if you know it's there, you have to fight it, and you cannot give up. It is a very touchy subject. Some people don't even believe it exists, so trying to talk to them about it seems pretty pointless. I get that. But I'm all ears. And I'll be honest, I know what it's like to be on a waiting list for something you feel, or after years you feel you should finally give in to, and accept that you might need some backup on it. And then knowing you've been put on a waiting list, it can really not help, you know. So, I want you to know, whoever is listening, that past this podcast, broadcast, whatever you want to call it, past this, there is more help. I don't mind however you get in touch with me. Do it. I don't mind. I don't mind talking to some stranger about... I mean, sometimes talking about the bad stuff, it can help, don't get me wrong. Getting stuff off your chest can help. But sometimes that's not what you need. Sometimes you need someone to tell you what to do and how to fight it. Sometimes you need someone just to tell you something funny and let you know that they are there. They will support you. And they're not going to give up on you. And sometimes you need someone to snap you out of it. And that has happened to me. And I'm grateful now. Even how hard it was to hear at the time. Sometimes it's all you need is someone who is going to snap you out of it. And I'm prepared to do that. If that is what it takes to help some of you people out there, I would like to help. And like I said, get in touch however you want. Some people aren't comfortable talking. Some people aren't comfortable writing about it. Find your own way of getting it across. I do not mind. But most importantly, you have to find something in life for you to do. I got to the point I just stopped thinking I had a purpose. Now I get up every day and I work for myself and I like it. I like getting up and doing the things I enjoy in life. And the only person that can make it happen is you. And I'm not just saying this because I have no experience in it. I'm saying it because I did it and that I have done it. And it is possible. And if there was hope for me, no matter how low I got, the fact that I'm here now shows there is hope for all of you out there. Because I wasn't in a good way, and I don't like to admit it, but if I'm going to be honest with you people, then yeah, I wasn't in a good place, and I was stubborn about it. So yeah, if you need help, you need support, you have to try and get out of that shell. You have to remember, this thing is trying to stop you winning. Of course it's going to make you not want to talk to your friends and family about it. Sometimes though, you just have to fight. You have to just get up one day and think, you know what? Right now in this mood, I'm going to do this. And you force yourself to do it. And once you've done it, you might encounter someone who will not let you slip that down. They might throw a rope down this pit for you. And once it's tied to you, they ain't letting go. You might not have a choice to get up in the morning. You might have a partner who will force you out of bed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that is the way forward, because for some people it really isn't. But having someone there, knowing there is an option and that there is someone there who wants to help you, sometimes that helps. But no one can be there for you if you don't mention it. But if there is no one there for you, the only person truly there for you all the time is yourself. And you have to fight for yourself. No one else will do that bit for you. It's not because they're being mean. It's not because they're being nasty. It's not because they don't believe you. It's because they might not know how to help you because they know you have to do it yourself. You don't want to spend the rest of your life relying on something. You want to get up in the morning and rely on just yourself. Heck, maybe even go as far to let people rely on you. Sometimes taking responsibility gets you out of bed. I have animals, and I'll be honest, my animals have been probably one of the main factors of helping me, because having that responsibility, knowing that they can only eat if I'm up, if I get up and I feed them, that gets me out of bed. That drives me because I love them more than I do people. And I mean, yes, I love my friends and my family, but out of the general human race, I prefer animals. So for me, that was my reason, and I forced myself out of bed every day just to get on with my day, to feed them, to do jobs around the house, anything I could to keep me busy. Because I know I could not let them down. Maybe you just need to take up a project. And it can go one way or the other. You pick up a project and it goes wrong, then you're going to be like, crap, I've got to start all over again. And, it's made me feel 10 times worse. But what if you do a project and it goes well, and then that project goes on to something else, and you're like, damn, I'm good. You never know, unless you try. And I've been there. I've been to the point of giving up. But I'm just saying, there is hope for you. So whatever you do, treat this thing. You know, there's viruses out there, there's medicine. You can find medicine for this. You can be the medicine for this, because it is in your head. And it's your head. You own that. Nothing else. You say what goes on in your mind. The mind is more powerful than you can imagine. Don't let something else defeat you. This is your battlefield. You own it. And I'm no motivational speaker or anything like that, but I know it is your body. And you do have a choice to fight it. You might not feel like it, and I don't knock you for that. But I'm telling you right now, you do. And you are going to fight it. And if you do need help, General Tabby is here. And I've got quite a bit of experience in fighting this thing. So I'm ready to go whenever you are. I've already got my gloves on. But I want you to do the same. Guys, thanks for listening. And I really, really hope that this has been helpful in some way, shape or form. If it hasn't, talk to me still. I might have missed some points. I don't know everything in terms of this, but I'm just sharing with you the bits I do know. But please, if you do need some support and you don't want to wait on one of these waiting lists, talk to me. I'm pretty available fairly often. I will get in touch. I will get back to you. So please, guys, just try and process what I've said. Try and work through it. Set yourself like a little scheme, a schedule. Nothing with too much pressure. Just enough to get you out of bed doing something. Just something. And that's the start. Well, guys, this is going to the end of tonight's broadcast, and I really hope it has helped someone. So I'm going to say good night, and until next time, guys, I will see you in the next broadcast. Take care.